Welcome to this 21 session, so 6 a.m. In Nice right now. So coming back more close to France, and we are going to talk about marine megafauna. So marine megafauna play vital roles in ocean ecosystem and economies, yet many populations are under pressure for fishing, pollution, and climate-driven changes. In addition to our discussion in Australia, this session will highlight
turtle conservation in the Seychelles, where nesting beaches and foraging zones require careful long-term monitoring and community engagement.
Shark protection in La Réunion, navigating both scientific data and public perception in a sensitive insular context.
And cetacean research in Italy, using acoustic telemetry, photo ID, and tracking to understand population structure and inform protection in the Mediterranean.
And so for this session, we are lucky. We are really many speakers.
Jam-packed.
Yes, to start the day. So we have Guillaume Chandelier with us, postdoc on Marine Mammals, University of Florida, former PhD student on shark at the University of La Réunion. Also, we have a MARE student currently doing an immersion project at CIMA Foundation in Italy.
We have Clara Cadillo, former MARE student in Colonia in La Réunion Island. We have also current MARE student Maxime Vaisette. Sorry, Maxime, who's working in Italy at the moment.
And we also are joined by Jacob Raquel, MARE student at Fregat Island, and is also with Anna Zora, which is a conservation sustainability manager of Fregat Island in the Seychelles. So thank you so much for being with us, and welcome to this session.
Welcome, everyone. So we're going to hand it over to you guys to kind of introduce yourselves a little bit more. Any particular order you would like to go in?
I think we can just have some glimpse because you prepared some really nice videos. So maybe we can start going, I guess, in Italy. And why not starting on, Lena, I think, cetaceans, then with Maxime. So just briefly having your video, and then you can give her more information about it.
The Mediterranean Sea is a hotspot of biodiversity and home to a wide variety of marine megafauna, including dolphins and whales. But it's also one of the most heavily exploited seas in the world, and these cetaceans face many threats, such as ship strikes, pollution, or climate change. At the GEMA Research Foundation, we monitor cetaceans to better understand their distribution, behavior, and how human activities affect them.
You wonder how we do this? Come with me aboard Headwind, the research vessel of GEMA.
Headwind is basically a floating research station. We scan the sea from the observation platform. We use drones for photo ID and blow sampling, and we launch the Zodiac to tag animals. We also deploy a hydrophone to expand our research.
So I can hear one sperm whale, but it's very far.
At the end of the day, each sound and each sighting brings us closer to understanding and protecting these incredible animals.
Of effort.
Thanks, Lena. So can you tell us a little bit more, giving more insight about your project right now?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. So, as you see, we work on the monitoring of cetaceans in the Mediterranean Sea, more specifically in the Pelagos Sanctuary. That is the northwestern part of the Med Sea. And now on the video, you saw the research vessel of GEMA, Headwind, but we also work aboard the public ferries between Savona here in Italy, Corsica, and Nice in France. And then, we do all kind of monitoring of all the cetaceans that we see. We have different types of dolphins and whales here, but also we monitor the vessel traffic, associated species like birds and other fish, pollution, just to really understand the cetaceans, their habitats, their behaviors. And then we go back to the office and different people work on different types of analysis, mostly within European projects. And that's the way we work.
Cool, thanks. I think we can go next also with Maxime, which is also working with cetaceans with perhaps another point of view, if I'm correct, but I don't want to give too much info. So let's just watch your video and we can discuss that after.
Hello, my name is Maxime Besset. I'm a year one master student from the MarWorld program at Université Côte d'Azur, and I'm actually doing my internship in Alghero. Alghero is a coastal town in Sardinia, Italy, surrounded by the Mediterranean.
My project focuses on bottlenose dolphins. I'm modeling their population and analyzing how their movement relate to human activity, especially boat traffic and fishing nets, to better understand spatial conflicts. This work contributes to SDG 14, Life Below Water, by providing data that can support better marine spatial planning and conservation action.
Very nice video. Thank you, Maxime. Can you give us briefly a bit more information on the internship?
Okay, a quick briefing. So I'm working for the NGO Maretera, which is taking advantage of the touristic dolphin watching tours to do and to finance their research. So I'm working with a few scientists that are specialists in dolphins, and on photo ID and acoustic studies, and modeling their populations. Yes, all the focused on the bottlenose dolphins, and yeah, I think for now it's what I can say.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, let's perhaps move. So we were in Italy more with cetaceans. Perhaps we can go then to La Réunion and looking more to sharks, and we will finish with the Seychelles and looking at the marine turtles. So maybe I don't know, like Clara, if you want to start a little bit and talk about your project there.
Yeah, so I studied marine turtles in Réunion Islands. So it was with Kelonia Center. Yeah, maybe I can share my screen. Okay, so I just studied the juvenile hawksbill tortoise behavior in presence of users in La Saline Lagoon, Réunion Island. So the center Kelonia is dedicated to the preservation, the conservation, and make people awareness about marine turtles. So they have a museum center, they have a healthcare center, and they do a lot of research. They have a big department research, so on the islands and on the Indian Ocean. And so just to be, so my internship was about the turtle washing. So as you can see on the video, so the turtle watching is the fact to observe marine turtles in their natural habitats, and there is some benefits from this new ecotourism, but there are also negative impacts. And so the idea there was to identify if the hawksbill juveniles in La Réunion, in the lagoon, had some disturbance from the users, and so the protocol was to go snorkeling in the lagoon to see if there are some individuals, and then take some information about it. So there was some individual data, like the identification with photo identification, camera videos, so to analyze the different behaviors. And there was some environmental data, like the number of users, what they were doing, etc. So I just precise my internship was in 2022, so it was at that time. And so the results that were that the lagoon of La Saline La Réunion is a cohabitation area, because the juveniles are coming to develop. The most common behavior was feeding, and turtle watching is also well implanted. Then the behavior, so the behavior of the turtle were not different, like the vital behaviors like swimming, feeding were not different in the presence or absence of users, but the main difference was the vigilance rate. So the vigilance was higher when there were some users. And the thing is that the vigilance is the first response to disturbance. So there is like a crescendo scale of disturbance, and if there is a repeat assessment after that to avoid the disturbance, the turtle can fleeing, and this can have an impact on the physiology. So it has to be monitored. And then the last thing of the study was the individual character. We saw that there's an habituation effect, like the response of the disturbance depends on the experience of the turtle, the personality, and also the time of exposure. And so to conclude on the study that I did, there was not a big impact of turtle washing on the juvenile turtles of the lagoon in Réunion Islands, but this is not fixed. So we must continue to raise awareness among users to let them know how to approach them with respect. So this is why on the site of Luna you can see the guidelines how to approach sea turtles in the lagoon, and the goal is to have a serene cohabitation in the lagoon.
Thank you very much. Really insightful. Sticking with La Réunion Island, we're going to go to Guillaume. And we share the screen for you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So hello, everyone. So my name is Guillaume Chandelier. So I'm a postdoctoral researcher at Marine Mammal Ecology Lab. So my research mainly focus on marine mega. I study different groups, included marine mammals, elasmobranch branch, sea turtle, large pelagic fish, and also seabirds. So my research focus on three complementary area. So first, the foraging ecology. So I use different methods such as stable isotope analysis and stomach content study to understand what marine species eat and how they interact in the trophic web. I also study the biodiversity using different methods such as eDNA. So it's a method to detect and to identify species and understand the community structure. And also now I work on species distribution modeling to map the current habitat and predict how they may shift with the future in the future due to the global change. So now I'm currently continuing my research through the Whale Adapt project led by the Dr. Jeremy Kiska. And the main goal of this project is really to assess how the climate change could impact the distribution of marine mammal in the North Atlantic. So we are especially interested in how the future environmental condition may shift their range, change available habitats, and disrupt the ecological balance of these species. So the things to understand what I'm doing is really important to understand which factor influence the distribution. So one of the main drivers of the marine species distribution is the environment. So factors like water temperature, salinity, and ocean currents play a key role in shaping where species can live. I don't know if we can share more. My screen is disappear. Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, it's okay for me. So the distribution of marine mammal is also strongly influenced by the availability of food resources, and also by the different interaction with other species. So the two main type of interaction are important here is the predation, which can push some species to avoid areas that are too risky, or also like competition, especially when species are competing for the same food resources, which can reduce their chance of being present in a certain area. So the Whale Adapt project, the goal of the Whale Adapt project is to model the current suitable habitat of 12 marine mammal species across the North Atlantic, and to project how this habitat might shift in the future due to the climate change. So to do this, we use with a global database that compiles species occurrence such as OBC maps, for example, And this database brings together observation from multiple sources, allowing us to get a broad and reliable picture of where each species has been recorded. And after, the things that we do is that for each occurrence point, we extract the corresponding environmental variable, such as temperature, salinity, primary production, etc., from an oceanographic database. And this allows us to link species presence to a local environmental condition and to use that information to calibrate our models. So after that, we obtain some map like I show. And the goal is really to create maps of habitat suitability, showing where environmental conditions are more favorable for each species today, for the period of today. And once the model are calibrated, we use for the future climate projection to estimate how habitat suitability may change in the coming decade. So I'm not gonna explain because I take too much time, but the climate change is expected to have several major impacts on marine mammal. First, we anticipate a shift toward the pole as the species follow the conditions they depend on. And also, like, the total area of suitable habitat may a little bit reduce, especially in the tropical region. And third, the habitat are likely to become more fragmented, which could isolate population and limited connectivity between them. So that's my job now. That's what I'm doing now. And I also do a lot of other stuff.
Yes, I wish we had the time.
Yeah.
I wish we had the time. I really did. 30 minutes is terrible.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. Let's move on to finally Anna and Jacob. Maybe Anna can go first. That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so hello everybody, good morning. So my name is Anna. I'm in charge of conservation and sustainability on Frigate Island, which is a privately owned island in the Seychelles. And we have a history on conservation of over 40 years now on the island. And we work on everything, on the whole habitat, on the whole biodiversity of the island, on land and in the sea. So, and this is, I want to say, it's very important, to understand how a whole ecosystem, so not only on land, but the whole connection between the land and the sea. So the healthy land and the healthy sea, it's very important. And that's why we somehow monitor the whole island and everything that is alive on the island practically.
I think it connects to what Guillaume was saying at some point, just like connect everything, not only what is in the water.
Exactly.
I think
we have Jacob here.
Yeah, I think Jacob, before we give you the floor, because you prepare a little video, so maybe we can just have a glimpse and then you can talk more about your project there.
Excellent, thank you. From the roughly 3,000 giant tortoises we count, mark and measure every year, to the coral reefs surrounding the island, every species is part of a delicate balance.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I'm currently working on Frigate Island, joining efforts to monitor and protect the local ecosystem.
My personal project is to explore how crabs affect the success of the more than 300 nests hawksbill sea turtles lay after crawling up the beaches of Frigate Island every year. Beyond that, our work spans from surveying endemic birds to actively restoring coral reefs. During marine surveys, we collect data to assess reef resilience, which plays a pivotal role in the survival of marine megafauna.
From this small island to the global ocean community, it's collaboration that brings us forward.
Thank you.
Just to make us even more jealous. Thank you very much, Jacob.
I hope it worked. No, the video pretty much said the core essence of what we do, but of course, as Anna mentioned, we do so much more. The whole island is under our management, you can really say. So we watch the bird populations, the seabirds. We are studying the effects of the runoff of guano on the island, on the corals that are in front of it. And the corals, of course, are not only hosting other species, but also sponges. Sponges, again, are a key food source for hawksbill turtles, which, again, is my project to study what are the effects on the hawksbill turtle nesting success rates. So understanding what are the pressures that keep the populations down, and one of which really appears to be crab populations, so crab densities, because crabs, of course, also want to live. So they dig around in the sand and they smell where the turtle eggs are and where the hatchlings come out. And we'll try to feed them. So we've been conducting a study to see how the crab population develops over time, and I'm comparing that to the hatching success and the emergence success of the hawksbill turtles, which is the equivalent of every turtle making it out of the egg, and then the emergence success is how many are actually alive when they get out of the egg. So
fantastic. I'm glad you're having a good time there and doing some good research. So we're gonna run out of time, and it's terrible. But I want to kind of ask a very kind of a big question for you guys, and we can go around and get your answers. And there's no real rush with it, but we'll probably just have to stick with one question, unfortunately. So, what are the main challenges in ensuring a healthy coexistence between marine megafauna and our coastal communities? Let's go to Clara.
So in the case of my study, because I study marine turtles, the difficult thing is that they have a very complex life cycle, which use really different habitats. So for example, if we look for the nesting, they are using the beach. For the juveniles, they are hawksbill turtle, they are using the coastal shallow water. Other species are using the high seas. So I think the difficulties is to understand the life cycle of the species to be able to protect them at each stage of the life cycle.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And what about Maxime? Biggest challenges for marine megafauna?
For marine megafauna, here, like locally, we have the bycatch, which is the main issue that we can have, and the incredible amount of traffic, the boat traffic in some touristic places like Sardinia. So the challenge here is to convince the MPA to put like stricter rules, and the fishermen to use other strategies or other technologies to avoid this bycatch and to have a more selective activity and fishing.
Yeah,
and, there is a lot of. Tell me.
No, sorry. I was just saying, yeah, what you're saying is really important, and I think it connects to a session we have in 2 hours, 1 hour. I'm confused, but yeah, we have one also about fish and society, and this idea of bycatch, I think, is going to be brought again. I think it's a really huge one for megafauna for sure.
Great. Okay, and let's go to Guillaume. From your perspective, the biggest challenges for coexistence for coastal communities and marine megafauna?
I'm gonna just explain for my project. For example, I work on a large scale with the whole North Atlantic. So the challenge is to apply our protection ID and everything to all the water in all the countries. So that is the most complicated because I'm not working only for the US. I'm working with the people in Norway and everything, and the politics are totally different. So we need to work with that. So I think it's the most complicated things for me is because I'm not a politic, I just give the ID and everything. So after, I just hope that they're gonna follow my ID, but sometimes it's not the case.
And let's go to Jacob and Anna.
The biggest challenge is again a bit different here because we are on a private island. So the only people coming here are the people that are essentially welcome already. But given the beaches around the island that are also used for tourism purposes, we sometimes have the difficulty of keeping the beach accessible to the tourists, and at the same time not disturbing the nests too much, not disturbing the hawksbills coming on land. But in general, I'd say we are in quite a privileged situation, being able to enforce the policy with less reduction in efficiency than perhaps in other places. Yeah.
Yes, and Anna?
Yeah, I agree with Jacob. And so one thing that we did in the past, and we will do more and more on the island, is like using our conservation effort to bring the tourists closer to conservation, literally. So we will try and organize. We did it in the past already, and it works perfectly well. So it's just to literally take the tourists close to the turtle in this case and measure the turtle with us. So do it in the proper way, so to teach them, okay, you can approach a turtle, but there is a way, and there is the good way and there is the bad way. But we need to, teach the people that there is a way also to do that. And I think this is important. So we are privileged enough to be able to do that because we have a small amount of tourists on the island.
Yeah, actually, a running theme also throughout has been accessibility to everything we've been speaking about. So that's a really interesting point. People don't have the access, like you guys have the privileged access on the island to these animals. Yeah.
And yeah, and to apply the rules that you want to have also. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we had a session on that also, talking about education, how it's impacting. So yeah, I guess to you, Lena. Sorry.
Yeah, I think, no worries. I think for us here, we can really see that many livelihoods actually depend on the kind of exploitation of the sea. You know, this could be fishery, tourism, shipping, all these kinds of things. And that can, of course, be in conflict with the well-being of the marine we have here. So I think the biggest challenge is to ensure that people can still use the sea as a resource, also economically, while still ensuring suitable habitat for the marine megafauna.
Cool, thank you very much. I think do we have time for a wrap up there?
We do have a little bit of time for a wrap up. Yeah, it's going so fast because so many people want to learn more about everything you're doing. But I guess perhaps for this, we're trying to close also this session, even if it was short, with your insight, just like maybe trying to link it with also this event. So to UNOC, to the SDGs, like something maybe that you're like, how it's important for you. So how do you feel like this subject, so megafauna, could be linked with UNOC, or what do you think?
Yeah, what would you like the people at UNOC to be discussing about marine megafauna? Maybe let's start with Anna.
Okay, so, well, people should discuss how we approach the marine megafauna, I think. That's the most important point, I would say. Yeah, how we approach it and how we can take people closer, like normal people, right? For us, certain things as biologists seem so normal, but they are not so normal for other people, right?
I agree. And Jacob?
Yeah, what just Anna said, in combination with keeping in mind that megafauna is automatically very high up in the trophic system, and that its well-being is so closely linked to the well-being of the entire ocean. And being aware of that is just as important to everybody. So keep that in mind, I think, to discuss how we can keep them safe, and thereby the whole ocean and ourselves as well.
Thank you very much. Lena?
Yes, I think, I mean, many cetaceans are migratory species. What I would hope for UNOC is that we actually have this international collaboration to find solutions how we can protect and conserve them internationally, and not only within one MPA, within one country.
It's a very good point.
Yeah,
a very good point for us, for sure.
Really difficult. If you remember some of your class, I guess, also with international laws and everything.
Yeah. Guillaume, how about you? Message for UNOC.
I think it's really important that all the people know that they can do a lot of stuff to protect the marine mammal and to act for the protection. So they need to know that, because most of the people don't know that they can act and they can, just like you're not necessarily need to be a scientist to, to protect them and everything. So I think everyone can act, and in this way, we're gonna find and apply some solution with everyone. I think it's the best.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
And how do you think they can? If you can give one example, like
just
people joining the session.
Something very simple that I use a lot of database. It's open source, so if you see marine mammal and everything, you can put all the data online, and we can use it after for the science. So
yeah, connecting to a session we had as
AI data management.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, it's like 20 hours ago. But yeah, it's really important what you're saying. Cool.
And Clara?
I would say like the same as the others, like the international cooperation between different actors, because we have in this event there is politics, scientists, people, citizens. So yeah, the complexity of this type of event, and also the power of UNOC to be able to do something, and to in order to protect in a better way all the megafauna and the living life in general.
I agree. Many people we've spoke to have said this is the kind of moment we need action rather than just words. So hopefully it happens here in Nice. And finally, wise words from Maxime, I'm sure.
Well, I just want to say that I hope that by sharing our daily life as a scientist could be like inspiring people to start or to continue protecting our oceans.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right.
Like we said, went really fast, but thank you for being with us, because and maybe to stay with us, except for you, Guillaume. I think you really want to, at some to go to sleep. We understand the feeling, but yeah, you can stay connected with us, because next session is coming up. It will be at in 30 minutes, of course, and we will be on an African focus. Well, thanks again, everyone. Just trying to find my little.
Thank
you very much.